Radiant team ban. Radiant team ban.
Dusk.
Radiant team pick.
Hello everybody and welcome. We're into game 2. Signature.Trust is up a game. I don't know how many people expected that. I think MVP we can see from the odds were very much favored. I can actually pop on over to that. Yeah, we can see MVP a bit more favored. Not too out of control odds though. 66 to 34%. Yeah. So, yeah, it could be either of those things. Either way, Signature.Trust definitely did a good job there. And we're going to be getting into this draw stage. It's already flying out. The IO ban. I think everybody expected this, right? You got to ban that IO. Yeah.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Oh, sorry, my microphone was muting itself. I feel like this Tusk, while he did play really well, what's the right way to say this? It feels like they almost, I think QO, very famous for being a very big playmaker, they maybe need a hero that he goes, what the effigy said, don't go QO.
Well,
because that game felt a bit like it was, don't go QO.
No, but it was that they wanted to go. They just had QO like hitting the tower or slightly out of position. His team was off to the side trying to pull some wraparound maneuver when in reality, didn't realize that QO was still so vulnerable to just being bursted. And before the fights ever really started, he died. Templar's not a frontline hero. She wants to come in the middle of the fight or just pick a hero off and get out, or anything really like goes full on
10 seconds
5-on-5,
remaining.
which is not how they were able to execute that game.
Yeah. Do you think also maybe it just came down to an issue of MVP, as you said, maybe just making the wrong calls for a couple of team fights and then getting demoralized?
Well, as soon as they made like 1 or 2 bad fights, Sig were really back into the game. The Necro was farming really well. The Tiny was farming at an average rate. Wasn't particularly amazing, but it was definitely enough to do the job. And their lineup wasn't able to like brute force V5s when there's no advantage. They had to play a bit more tactfully. They had a lead, and as soon as that lead evaporated, they had to play like a lot better. Felt like. And the Ember just never got his Battle Fury until... Did he actually finish it? I don't remember. He could have had it like 13, 14
yeah,
minutes.
No. He finished it way later than expected because he died a couple times in a row, and it wasn't good.
10 seconds remaining.
So I don't know what to say.
opting to pick Shop this game as opposed to giving it over to Sig again. Good way of countering the Dax here. The last game.
And I feel like Disruptor last game, I actually have to say the Disruptor played really well on Signature.Trust. Those static storms, a lot of times making sure that they could keep people and the kinetic fields in position to get the Reaper's Scythe off. So...
Yeah, he did his job for sure. He had a really hard early game being underleveled. With the Wisp want to get his items, he had to play the 5 role, and he sacrificed, but he was still useful to his team, which is not the easiest thing to do.
Yeah. So, I wonder if MVP want to take a leaf out of Signature.Trust's book. Necrophos could be strong here as well. And
I think that's just a really good with IO Tiny because it provides for sustain, and Tiny has a lot of burst and he's synergized as well with sieging, so if you can burst someone down and kill them for 100 odd seconds with no buyback, then you can end the game. I think it's more like a specific strategy that Sig run.
5 seconds.
I don't think they're
remaining.
like a go-to hero by any means at the moment.
So, but MVP actually are the ones to ban out the Ember this time. I think deciding they're not going to pick it. Don't want to have to deal with Queen of Pain, Darkseer, Ember. It could be quite a pain in those fights. Vacuum into Sleight of Fist with Cleave. But that means MVP have to pick up another. We haven't seen Dagger. I haven't seen Dagger. He's played Ember like in most of their games. Who else did he play? He played someone else. Let me go take a quick look-sees. But he actually
Can't
played.
remember.
Yeah, he played Dagger a bunch in the games that we saw yesterday. Sorry, he played Ember. I think
Dagger
I said he
played
just
Ember.
played Dagger. Yeah. Okay, I think Mental Protector is in fact Dagger.
I
just-
only know him by Dagger. I never have known another name.
It says
Oh.
on the official roster Mental Protector.
Okay.
He also
I've
played
never...
the Slaughter. Remember, it was a carry Slaughter
Oh,
that
yeah,
ended
yeah,
up
yeah.
going the Blink
Wait.
4-staff.
Yeah, that was really well played by
10
him. So
seconds remaining.
let's see if he gets a more tempo controlling carry, or if he actually gets to play like a more
5
harder carry
seconds
for a change.
remaining.
So, gonna be nice. But we've also got a Dazzle coming out, so Signature.Trust got good sustain already for them. Their team fight's gonna be looking pretty good. And also a little bit of minus armor, positive armor. Yeah, and MVP Phoenix do go for that Slaughter that we were talking about. So it's kind of, I feel, if they pick up the Dazzle, or just in general, minus armor is so strong. Amp damage is 10, 15, 20. That's, like, it's not quite double damage, but it's a lot. I do not actually know the exact armor maths, so I'll make sure to get up to date on that, folks watching.
Yeah, armor math's just a tedious part of the game. Basically, it makes you
10
hit hard.
seconds
And you
remaining.
would have.
Yes,
That's all that
simplistically
you
hit
need to
hard.
know. You just gotta break it down to
5
the bare
seconds
minimum
remaining.
harder, and that makes heroes better. It's very Slaughter's a good hero, right?
Yeah. It's also, it does have diminishing returns, I believe, but it also is something where those diminishing returns start at quite the negative armor. So it's generally, like, even giving someone negative 15 is still pretty good. But,
I
yeah.
actually remember my teammate always wanted to play offlane Slaughter, and I was like, nah, this hero's shit, we're not giving it to you. I highly regret that now, because you have a really well prioritized hero.
Yeah.
Teams have figured out how to run him. He
Even before...
buffs, but
Even before the buffs, he was actually being picked, and I think it was just a case of folks realizing that he just has, I mean, Slithering Crush is huge. We'll show it in a second when we load in. I'll make sure to mouse over it when it's skilled. But that AoE on Slithering Crush is actually the biggest. And Signature.Trust, Drow Ranger strat, again, they did this I want to say they did this yesterday, but I may be mixing up my cats and dogs.
I think they did.
I know somebody did it,
Shadow
yes.
Fiend.
It was the Lakel's,
Yeah,
Drow Ranger?
It was definitely them. But I'm not sure it's too good this game, because Slaughter is one of the better heroes at getting into Drow's face. She
At the
has
same
decent-
time, if he tries to sprint up there, he's gonna take a lot of damage before he gets to Drow.
with Tusk as well, though, they have two really good heroes at getting in your face. And if you ever have to run, Disruptor allows you to
Lena.
catch up really well. So this is quite risky, I feel like. But it's obviously something they're comfortable with. They have a really good defensive support in Dazzle, and Dux is able to get them away from Drow if they ever group up to initiate. So I see it working out. Obviously just a preferred strategy they have.
10 seconds
So
remaining.
now Alina coming out, and I mean, this could be QO Lena. She's received some nerfs, still considered a really strong hero. It's either the offlane Tusk or the support Tusk, and I've seen March play a good one. I think what we've seen from Fevy's Tusk is a little bit better, though. But that's also, it's apples and oranges when you play offlane versus support. Support has a bit more early game involvement.
I think they're going to prefer the support position Tusk here, because when you have Tusk Disruptor Slaughter, you can just completely zone out a Dux. They'd be so scared of dying that lane. So they're probably going to look for an offlaner here. Clock's still in the pool, which is a good option. Gives someone a way to get onto the Drow. They have a few ways of pushing him out the cogs, but it's still a way of locking him down and getting close. Whereas Sig, I'm not sure what they're looking for another support here. They could go for something like Visage to synergize with the Drow. Might look for another defensive support in the form of like Shadow Demon, which is really good against Slaughter and Lena.
Seconds remaining.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It feels like a game where MVP, again, just all of their lanes will have a little bit of a better time for Signature.Trust with the Drow aura, so I'm a bit worried for them still.
Well, I think mid's gonna be fairly even. Quap has to outplay the Lina a lot, I feel like, to be able to use her advantage. Mostly in the first 2 levels. And with Drower, you can push that to maybe the 3rd or 4th level. But I don't think it's a clear advantage. And the Dax is gonna struggle a lot top. So it's probably just gonna be like the safe lanes both getting farmed, the mid laners trading and harassing, and the off laners trying to scramble for what they can.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Also, this Queen of Pain Lina matchup, it's very volatile, and I wonder how much Quap go. Yeah, we've seen this one as well too, right? The Centaur strat. So, whoa! Wait
So
a
that's
second though. This is a support
4-position
Centaur.
Doxer. I
You think it's a
support
4-position Doxia?
And they're actually opting to offlane the Slardar, okay. Makes a lot of sense as well. Well, maybe not, it's offlane Bristle. Dagger's playing the Slardar. Yeah, I
The
like
amount
the
of
Centaur. It gives them
confusion
ways
I
to
have
disengage.
right now is like max. A 4-position Doxia, I have never seen that. How does this work?
I think he's probably going to go to the jungle to start with, get a few stacks, get his levels up, and then when the Centaur manages to pick up 3 in boots, the Daxer also has level 3. They're going to try to run at the supports. Put a lot of pressure on MVP's safe lane. Because I don't think MVP well. They could go aggro tri lane.
10 seconds.
They want to do that, but I feel like giving Centaur a free start is not a very good idea.
5 seconds.
So they're probably just gonna standard lanes, let March get what he can bottom, stack up the Ancients. Definitely can work. I like the theory behind it, it's just whether it actually works out or not.
I personally think both drops are weird. No, I actually...
Yeah, they are weird. There's a few unusual heroes here and there, which is nice to see.
Yeah, I see some nice minus armor synergy as well on MVP, but I have to say the 4-position Doxia, I'm no expert, and I'm not a believer in it yet, but I'm sure I will be. You know what's funny about MVP? They have, I think, Qo and March disconnect quite a bit, but yesterday we had all 5 of them disconnect, but they're clearly not on LAN, because March resets just his internet. So there must be some other funky thing. Oh, maybe when one... No, that doesn't work in the game.
It might just be like legacy keys or something that he's changing around when he disconnects.
Yeah,
I know, like, a lot of the players decide to use legacy hotkeys, and if your hero has hotkeys and you have to rebind your items or whatever, it could be something like that.
Either way, let's get into this. We've got on MVP, we've got March's Bristleback coming out, Febby on that Tusk, Qo on the Lina, the Miss Fireface, or whatever we want to call her, Heen on the Disruptor, and finally Slaughter's going to be played up by Dagger.
Everyone's
He's about to run into Centaur. They're going to touch each other a little. No, actually just Centaur touching Slaughter. We're good. You were saying.
Very inappropriate touching going on in the top lane.
30
But over
I mean-
for Sig, we have My Pro on the Quap that's going middle, Boombell on the support Dazzle, Abba on the offlane Centaur, Nagato
Okay, wait, actually,
on
Centaur's taking a huge amount of damage. He could go down. He gets the Centaur Stomp off. They don't have anything else to follow up, though, but he lost so much health. I think it's you just go back to base at this point.
he's going to opt to salve and block
Oh.
the creeps instead, which
Okay.
he needs to do. If he just goes back to base, he loses a lot of time. Finish off, we have Nagato on the 4th position Darkseer and Lakel's on the carry draft.
The battle begins.
They're just trading bounty runes for both mids. However, Febby's blocking mid, which is going to put QO in a significant advantage over the Quap. This is a really big deal. Get a good block on Lina's lane, the Quap can't do anything to her. Really important.
Yeah, Lina has a lot more harass in lane, just 1 because of the range, but 2, her spells, a little bit more spammable, a lot easier to hit on someone. You don't have to be right up in their face, and yeah, we already see the Dragon Slaves coming out, and Lina picking up a salve, knowing that she might get Shadow Striked. So, but I'm interested to see this support Doxia, who's apparently going to take a lot of farm.
I'm not so sure if starting top's the best move, but they realize the Tusk is like not in the lane, so going 2-on-2, they definitely can get away with this, and they're just gonna split farm, split XP, I guess.
Yeah. In bottom, both
Really weird.
Lakel's and March took a lot of damage, and it is a March Febby lane. It's not quite... You know, we've seen these Tusk lanes against the safe lane, where the Tusk does very well because maybe he's paired up with someone like an Undying. They really stop them from farming. I don't know how well a Bristleback helps out there.
Well, they definitely have the ability once they get like level 3 and boots to just run at the drow, and That's going to be enough to pressure on her. However, the lane's not going so well to start. Drow's CSing as she would normally. March is at least getting something out of this, so Febi's doing what he can to make his team's life easier.
Yeah, and Quap is really losing mid hard. Has to get another salve up. So.
That block is like, it's so hard to explain how big a deal it is. Like, I almost feel like Quaps need to take the bounty rune and blink back just to get a better block. Because you're not shadow striking level 1 most of the time.
Yeah.
Or you get like the 2 creeps. Which is something Go on, sorry.
Oh no, it was just an interesting play up top. Heen was attacking the sentry and then decided to eat it, I guess worried that they put down a counter sentry. Sorry, ward. So, you were saying it's mid very lost with the block?
Yeah, it's so hard for Quap. Like, she just can't use her skill set very aggressively when the Lena's up a hill here. And Lena's attack rate is so bullshit. Like,
yeah,
time is not the best.
She's gonna actually have a really big disadvantage. I worry about the Quap here up against the Slaughter. And speaking of Slaughter, though, we got a lot of action going on top. Heen maybe in a bit of trouble, but Kinetic Field gonna save his life. He actually looks like he's posturing for a glimpse, but he doesn't have it. It's very strange. And now Dagger trying to go in, uses that stun, and now Febi's up here suddenly. Where are the ice shards? They're gonna kill off Centaur. That's our first blood. Very nice patient play there. I feel like they almost baited out Centaur going full, but now Queen of Pain, she's jumping in, she kills the courier in mid! Oh, what a play, and QO in a lot of trouble. Queen of Pain doesn't have another scream. She dodges the light strike away. QO's just gonna get auto attack down, bottling up, but it is not enough. And I mean, huge
This guy's
misplay
a
from
player.
QO.
I didn't see how that initially started, but QO just getting greedy with his positioning and letting
And
the
his
shit go
bottling.
too far out. So that's exactly how you get back into the lane again. Big place.
Yeah.
Team's
Very
probably
risky.
pretty mad now though on MVP.
Yeah. At the same time, you know, sometimes these things happen and you've just got to recover. A lot of Dota is about how you respond to, you know, maybe your lane not going the way you want. Also, as you pointed out before, Drow is now having a time of her life, especially since they've rotated Febi. So-
One thing to note is the Slider went for a bottle and he actually brought the Tusk boots out with a TP, which is a play I really like to see.
But when
Maximum
you have no
efficiency.
courier, you have to.
Yeah, but instead of making it to side shop or some free inventory slots,
Yeah.
works out quite well. Bit curious about the bottle pickup though. Obviously feeling he's gonna need the regen. He might also opt for Tranks on top of this. The amount of pressure he's taking.
Yeah, it also may have been an attempt at being more active with runes, although that didn't just happen. So we do have an oddly positioned. Can they do anything here? He's actually taking so
QO
much
got a
damage.
haste rune.
Yeah, they're probably gonna kill Abba unless he gets a magical TP, but he doesn't have one on him. There is the stun, but now there's gonna be return stuns, but Dagger is taking a lot of damage. He actually sprints forwards with the Surge, and now it is Nagato on the backlines. He's TPing out. Do they have the Slithering Crush? He misses, but the Snowball, it doesn't miss. Dagger trying to walk it off, but Nagato just gonna fall. That poison, Orb of Venom, doing too much slow for him to catch anyone.
Yeah, Febi had to eat his mango for the star, so at least the TP forced something up, but Max is in a lot of trouble
March,
bottom.
yeah, he is taking way too much damage. A weird heal bomb attempt from Boombell, but I still think March goes down. Oh, he jukes them! Did he buy a TP there? Oh, he doesn't have mana. He has mana in 3. He might be able to get this TP. He's gonna go for it. Can Boombell get the heal bomb? He gets the heal bomb.
The reason Boombell healed there is because if Soul used one more quill, the Drow was probably dead. He already had like 4 or 5 stacks. So he had to heal there, otherwise Drow could not have chased. But they opted to play it safe. Getting the kill on the Dazzle's really nice. It's gonna let him pick up his boots.
And he has 1 point in Poison Touch. It's one of those things, we've talked about it before. It's like sometimes really painful because it means you don't have more levels in the Shadow Wave or the Shallow Grave. But here, I think you're kind of happy to have it because it's helping you get kills and bristles. And with the slow from the Drow as well, I think you reliably get those kills.
Yeah, I agree. It's nice to see him going for that build to play more aggressively. Secure the Drow's farm a lot more. And Sentinel's actually transitioned into being the support. It's weird. I'm a bit surprised that they're letting the Centaur go to jungle, which is so much more inefficient than Adaxia.
Yeah, I think he just didn't feel safe up in that lane. March tries to stack again. They'll realize this is blocked, maybe. So there's been a ward. I don't know when they put this ward because it's really deep for Signature.Trust, but they managed to get one down to block the Ancients, and of course that stops all of March's attempt at catching up because that's what the Ancients were for.
That's really good that Sig managed to do that this game because they weren't able to the prior game.
Yeah.
TA.
But such is life, and Drow just gonna keep on farming. She's top of the net worth. She's actually kind of
Gets
helping.
kill mid with
Oh
the
my
ulti and a
goodness.
DD. Febby
Yeah.
wasn't able to save him with the snowball.
And
Really good
she
play by my pro.
She fell so fast there, the Lena, with the DD and the Sonic Wave. Like,
This quap hits like rock with the Drow Aura and the double null on top of the DD. It's 200 damage nearly. Febby should realize this is blocked now if he actually sees he goes to stack.
he might not check it afterwards, and a lot of them not checking it afterwards. Yeah, we see Radiant pinging it out. Febby might take a look-see, but I don't know if he's gonna notice. Yeah, he's actually gonna poke his head back in there. So he'll realize it's blocked.
Get
Probably
a pair
realizing-
of sentries out. He has some money now. Pretty big deal they get this unwarded, I think. Dewarded. I'll buy a smoke instead though. Sentries on the chicken yet.
So it also looks like they're pinging Disruptor over, so he might be the one who's forced to do that. But March getting a bit of freedom since Drow is out of the lane. They actually sent Drow off to jungle since she has that Morbid Moss. But now Queen of Pain blinking away. Disruptor trying to set something up there, I think, and just not successful enough.
They're actually going to go on Marsh bottom. The Drow's coming around from behind. Should be able to get a free kill.
Yeah, easy kill. Huge heal bomb damage. And not feeling like whatever strategy MVP is attempting to run here really working. They'll go for the smoke gank, but we can see Mithril.Trust is certainly pulling ahead. But they see Drow. They know exactly where she is. They're going for a big wraparound.
I like this path taking. It's a lot less risky.
Oh,
We have to pick
no,
up both these
though.
kills.
They might be able to get both. Oh, they have the snowball coming in. Naga, no, they actually go on the creeps to get closer. Where are the ice shards? They want both. Lakel's coming in, though. Queen of Pain, she doesn't have the Sonic Wave, so not as much that she can do. Kyo really wants that invis, but Sequop takes it from her. He needs to do something to Lakel. And finally going down the Shadow Wave, nearly saving her life. Can they chase down Kyo? Yes, with a blink. Light Strike Array, it's gonna hit, but I don't know if that's enough for Kyo. Has to try to deny herself? No, doesn't manage to. On the same time, we've got Disruptor. Probably, oh, he might be able to actually escape here. No, he glimpses one back, so... But he pops to the Dazzle Poison Touch. So
this poison's
that poison
doing
touch,
work.
yeah, doing work. I think you're very happy with the amount of kills you've gotten with Poison Touch. And also, it feels like we've talked... Slaughter, he can buy carry items certainly, but he needs Blink. He might even want a Forced Off, just because of the way there is a Quaff and so on. Maybe he needs to get out of the way, or he wants even further initiation. But he is... I mean, to build him into a right-click carry, it is rough.
Oh yeah, like this game, they're mostly.
Oh my
just
gosh, did their ward just miss? No, I think the sentry sees that ward.
they just can't go and do it because if Febby goes in to right click it, he's going to take a lot of damage from the ancients.
And there's another Sonic Wave where I missed the kill because I'm looking at the Ancient's ward. So...
Hey, you got the important things in life. When a support's just standing there, not able to do it, like this is cancer. Being able to do stuff like this as a melee support.
Yeah.
Having to make your core do it is so annoying.
And definitely denies time where QO could be farming, so...
I mean, it's the small things, but it's just frustrating. However, moment just always have more heroes in the engagement. I expect exchange as soon as Slider gets his blink. It's going to look to be a lot more active soon, which is where MVP have a chance to change the tempo of the game. It's definitely going Sig's way right now.
At the same time, it is possible that they will realize up on MVP. Heen is that... Will that actually stack? Oh, I've never seen that play before. Did you see what he did? He doesn't stack though. He whipped the timing.
What did he like hit from?
He kinetic fielded to try to. So you know when you hit from the high ground because of the path they take, they group up too much around the corner.
Yeah.
So you can't actually do stacks on that type of pull if they walk up this way. Pass 2. Oh gosh, I love drawing on the map as the main caster. But if you do what he did there, what I think he was attempting to do, he put down the kinetic field. And it was meant to bunch them up and then they would all walk out at the same time. I think if he had done it a second earlier, it would have worked. But it's just not a play.
You have to pull that at like 51 or 52, so when they're actually running back, they block each other. Really annoying when, like, you know you need to get the ancient stacks as a support, but you're like, but I want this creep, and then you're like 2 seconds late, and then you try some desperation stack from here.
Now, they do have the blink up on Slaughter now. He can go purchase it if he's so inclined, which I imagine he'll do. At the same time, I feel like Signature.Trust probably realizes they need to at some point stop bringing the hurt to the Slaughter. Even if he gets a blink, though, as we already talked about, it doesn't feel like, I mean, what, you go an AC? What's your I do lots of damage and I'm scary game plan?
I think you definitely want KB this game, because getting in on Drow requires you to not have to worry about the Centaur and the access spells. So, Treads, KB maybe?
And
Not
Dagger
sure
finally
so much
TP's
after that.
home. Pick up the
Look at
blinks.
this is so, like, next level play coming out from... Yeah, it's the Drow of the Dominator creep.
Yeah.
Zoning out whoever's
Dire's
doing this
top
ancient.
tower is under attack.
He's even trying to take the creep.
The creep is a little bit too strong for the,
That
what is
creep
that,
hits for
Sata
8
Basher?
damage.
Bottom tower
8
is under attack.
damage.
Yeah.
That is so annoying.
It's a very, I would say persistent creep. I like to see persistence in my creeps, you know? It's like when your creeps take their tier 3 tower and you weren't even paying attention to that lane. That's the type of creep that 8 damage creep was. We have a smoke coming out from Febby and Dagger. So the game plan overall will follow the smoke, but the game plan overall for Signature.Trust, I feel like they have a good amount of sit back and farm potential. Drow, Aura, giving everybody fantastic scaling. The Quap will be a hard right clicker as well as a... Oh, the Slithering Crush misses! And just so you folks know, that is a huge AoE. I think he did the 1200 blink, where he blunked too far, and so was punished.
Yeah, I'm still not exactly sure if that's the game or if it's exactly how it works.
Oh, so basically the way the blink... Maybe it's been... Well, chat'll tell me off if I'm wrong.
I know if you blink the max range in Dota 1, it punished you, and I know it was the same for Dota 2 for a while. I heard it got changed. I could be wrong.
Oh gosh, if it got changed with Reborn, now we're gonna have QO taking a lot of damage. She has to take this Light Strike away with the blink away from Quap. Just Laguna Blade her. The silence from Drow though. Nothing she can do. Is there backup though? This blink, it's on cooldown. It's not. She's actually been maxing it, so nothing they can do. Slithering Crush for Lakells, but somebody needs backup. Dagger needs help, even with the amp damage not doing enough. And here comes the Static Storm. Here comes the Centaur Stampede though. Nobody's gonna get out alive, it looks like, for MVP. Dagger, Slithering Crush of desperation, but nothing he can do. And now the two of them, how are they gonna fight up against 5? They don't have the power for this. Centaur being surged forwards to get off that Centaur Stomp, and here comes Quap from the sideline. She's just going to use a Shadow Strike. Centaur Stomp is cancelled, but another devastating fight for MVP.
Sig.Trust just always have the numbers advantage. This is like either really optimistic play from MVP or really sloppy. But
TP's in. Let's see if they can do anything much. He's trying to go in. He needs to spit a little bit more. We've got a snowball. They might be able to kill off Nagano, but that's not the target they wanted. And he just gets mech'd up to full, and now March is going to go down. One more auto attack. Looks like he'll take it. Oh, Laguna Blade finishes off finishes off Darkseer, but Bristleback goes down to the Queen of Pain. Anyway, can they do anything to Lakells? Where is more backup? It just feels like they need so much more. They need blinks. They get one. Dagger has brought back, and maybe are you just gonna TP out Bloody Drow? No, she's stunned. She is most certainly dead, and they'll get the dazzle for it too. I think that's worth it, but it is really rough for the lineup of MVP. They had to use a buyback there.
Definitely worth it though. They need the tempo.
No, he didn't use his buyback. He just respawned. Did Dagger really die that early? Okay, I thought he had to buyback. Yeah. Sorry,
I didn't think he bought back, but I was trusting you when you said it.
No, don't trust me. Don't trust me. I just thought he was back way too soon, but he actually died really early on. So even though he has level 9, wasn't a buyback. I'm cray. But a good...
that fight lasted a long time though. Because of like trying to chase. They also wanted the tower, which is understandable, but just overstaying their welcome a bit and getting punished.
And looking at the numbers, even if Dagger had bought back for that, it would have been a big win for them because they would have gotten the Drow and the Darkseer. But it wasn't a buyback. We'll just keep stressing that. Maybe people will forget I said it. Either way, it's really helpful. March is so far behind. What do you do here as a Bristleback? You're... Okay, taking Roche, I think a good start. They obviously have the power for it. Signature.Trust completely sees this, but they've got amp damage. They've got nasal goo. They don't actually have viscous nasal goo. Not going to be as fast. How do you get back in if you're March? He's been trying to take Ancients.
He just needs to fight with his team, I feel like, because whenever MVP are looking to have an engagement, they have 2 to 3 heroes, and Sig are always 1 or 2 more. So I feel like they're just communicating better on what they want to do and realizing what MVP wants to do. However, the smoke actually gets broken by...
Oh gosh, they run into each other. There's gonna be slaughter. He manages to get a one-man crush, but no, the Static Storm is actually zoning people really well, but this wall, it is good. And Dagger now, he's taking a lot of damage, and that's another huge Slithering Crush if they can kill off Nagano, but no, the Sonic Wave gets all of them, and now it's just picking up the rest of the food. Heen probably gonna fall. Febby doesn't manage to die there. They actually kill off the Darkseer, and if Heen gets out as well, at least it's something, because they killed off the Drow, but that Sonic Wave, I don't know if you saw it, it was just goodbye, everybody. I thought Slaughter was gonna get something, and he just melted.
MVP's just smoking into a high ground position, making it really awkward to fight. If they popped in this river, it's so awkward. Like you don't exactly know what's happening. Luckily they had this ward, so
Yeah.
they saw the heroes here, but that smoke just is it's a desperation smoke. Like they realize they need to get Roche. Like Kel's is doing a really good job of having the creep always in there. It's almost worth the Dominator pickup just because of that. Playing really smart. P aren't getting the free Roche, which they really need to get back into this.
It is hard. They constantly put the creep there, as you said. Good bit of armor, good bit of vision. On the blink, it apparently still is in Dota 2. It's basically, if you try to blink past the 1200 units, you're punished and you only get a 960 range blink, which looks like had happened earlier to the slaughter. It's also very hard, right, to precisely go 1200.
I mean, that's one thing I really dislike, because there's no range indicator on blink. I always found it really annoying when I transitioned to playing Dota from Hon. No flame, but like when I first came, it was like, why am I not blinking to the range that I should be? There's actually a stampede going.
Yeah, it looks like they're going on QO, and she's just very dead. No way to get out of that. She tries to delay her death for TP's in. Maybe they can catch something onto Centaur. They have the glimpse back, but this is Centaur for your mid laner. They should be able to get him here. Yeah, at least a good return kill.
Well, this happens, Mark. She's taking his ancients as well. So Signature.Trust getting something off the fact that they aren't in like fighting position. And as soon as the Centaur comes back up, I expect they look to have something happen with the Static Storm being on cooldown. That's like the biggest teamfight spell MVP have right now.
Yeah, the other thing is Okay, so you're March, you get farmed. Like, let's say beyond all odds, you actually manage to get some items on yourself. What are you going for? Right? Like, you need to be up in Drow Ranger's face.
Halberd maybe?
Halberd, maybe a blink after that or something, because it feels like your positioning is really key, but there's so many things to kite you here with Shadow Strike, with the Frost Arrows, with the Poison Touch on Dazzle.
I don't think there's any way you get a blink Umbra, so you just need to tank off and let your team do the thing. If Dagger blinks in and they get follow-up from Febby or QO, he has ways of getting in there. And once he's in there, he's not kited too much. Auto attacks aren't the biggest problem. They're worried more about like QO and at this point, so he's just gonna be there and cast his quells. He's not the most effective hero right now, but if the game goes on, he's gonna be like that third core, which MVP need to transition.
Now, Febby is getting very close to his Blink Dagger. He may be the target of a smoke gank, although it looks like they want something bigger, and they have spotted Dagger, so that's going to be who they go on, and he's walking right into this gank. He's got a little March back up, but oh gosh, they go on March instead. And Dagger, he blunk away, so March is just dead, and Dagger, you need to get out of there, but he's silenced up. A bit of a mistake, vacuum backwards, taking extra damage because of the sprint. Oh gosh, he's just dead.
Well,
and
they're
again,
going to transition into Roche with the medallion.
Yeah, I think it was one of those you needed to leave. You blunk away, letting your friend die, just let him die. You have to, you just have to say, okay. And he actually saw quite a few of them with this ward, so it felt like Dagger just wasn't sure whether he should stay or whether he should go.
Save your friend syndrome's really annoying. Unfortunately, a Sentry has just missed the D ward, which is sloppy play from Sig, but it really doesn't matter. They took the Roche. Like they're going to try and transition into twos as soon as people have healed up. I don't think anyone's close to an item. Centaur's near his force.
The blink should be up on Tusk then? Yeah, he just brought out the blink. I'm assuming it was the blink. It could have been mech or something. No, it was the blink. Because they're about
they're going to chill for like...
Oh, they're going to chill, but as we say, that Centaur War Runner, he takes the Laguna Blade to the face, and that is not chilling. And they glimpse back Nagato, which maybe is what he wanted, considering he's up here with a bunch of enemies surrounding him. So Nagato probably not as worried about that glimpse back, and they should be able to get top tower. Not the tower you want, but you'll take it when you're behind. MVP, this is an elimination match for them. They're down a game, and if they lose this one, they're out of the Summit qualifiers.
Getting the kill on Centaur and getting the tower there is good for them, but now they have to deal with the pressure from the Drow, who's ended up getting a Centaur creep and has stuck it right on top of her, so if people initiate, that's something he can use to get them away from him, which I like. Most people just use Helm to like stack creeps and out Roche pits, but now he's actually using the... Yeah, this is an Alpha Wolf, he actually has to do something with this, it's not just an AFK and forget. VP looking like they want to get top, but the tier 2's already fallen, so Sig look to defend if they show.
They don't push nearly as hard. Bristleback, maybe he also wants a BKB. It's kind of... What's the right way to say this? It feels like, as you said, he needs to go be that third core, but certainly Slaughter needs a BKB. Lena's probably also, unfortunately, needing one. She needs an Ags as well. She needs a lot. So, they just feel really underfarmed, the secondary cores on MVP compared to Signature.Trust.
Yeah, when the 4-position Centaur or Darkseer, I'm not really sure which one's playing the supportive role this game. It's just been dumped on the Dazzle. But when they're both out farming, your offlane Bristle, who's quite a good comeback hero most of the time, but he just hasn't had the space this game.
I mean,
shows really bad signs for MVP.
They're outfarming the Slaughter as well. This Centaur is gonna have Blink forced off before the Slaughter has anything new, so...
Slaughter is so hard to farm up when you have very little space, especially because it feels like you need to do something in this game. So you try to be active, but when you're not hitting creeps and you're not getting any kills, you just, what am I doing with my life?
So it also feels like even if you do get free farm on Slaughter, he just doesn't farm very fast because of no inbuilt farming mechanisms, and obviously isn't a cleave buying hero. So, and Lena suddenly out of nowhere purchases up that heart. It's been nerfed a bit in the last patch. What is Febby doing with his life?
You mean Bloodstone, right?
Yes, Bloodstone. Sorry, folks. Just for folks who are new, sometimes Llama calls Bloodstone heart because I used to think it drew a lot love heart on the ground.
Interesting.
Oh, Febby punches the courier. That was a good use of items. Ice shards just to make sure nobody can come around to him. But he punched the crap out of that courier, and I missed what it picked up because I was too excited. So,
it would have been Drow's BKB, I think.
Yeah, that's pretty big. They're still not going to contest this because Drow has a DD, but...
I don't know, she hasn't spent her cost, so...
Someone was having it delivered. But they might just go for the high ground on Signature.Trust. They're like, hey, we got a lot of damage. We got Drow's aura. Give a Centaur to keep her alive.
They want to go for this. They should play it a bit passive until...
Oh gosh, as you say, they should play it a bit passively. March taking way too much damage. They snowball him to safely, actually just on the creeps. The Slithering Crush does a lot of work. MyPro getting glimpsed like one unit. Where's the Light Strike Array follow-up? It's on cooldown. They could kill off MyPro, but at the same time, he's got an Aegis, so it doesn't really matter too much. They're gonna get it. No, there's the Shallow Grave as well. Vacuum back. Lena's dead. She can't buy back because she bought out that Bloodstone. Now Dagger looks like he's going down. Static Storm is gonna do a lot of good work. I think it has Clop on the edge with the Kinetic Field, but the Kinetic Field goes down. They might be able to kill Abby here, but it's the BKB from MyPro. She no longer cares about Static Storms. We've got to cast her out of the game, and they were just gonna work on this tower. We've got... Oh gosh, what are you doing? So it looks like they might be able to save their racks, but a devastating team fight for them. Can they get anybody else a glimpse back into a kinetic field? That's a Darkseer, but Dagger, he doesn't want to be here with the sprint. He's taking way too much damage, and Drow can just kill him off. This wall, March keeps walking through it, losing damage. He's getting low. So Dagger blinks forward. Slithering Crush also has the amp damage out. He can't stand in that bloody Ion Shell, though. And now Vacuum is up. Nagano does a nice one. Huge amounts of damage on all of them. He doesn't really have backup, so he's just gonna fall. But I think if the Quap or the Drow had chosen to stay around, easy Sonic Scream kill.
I think it was good by Sig just realizing QO's coming back up, back the Darkseer, get out. They got the tower. They took not the best team fight, but they at least got an objective, so now they're just going to chill a bit. Drow not having the BKB meant she couldn't really commit to that fight, which is a big problem. You're looking to seize your high ground, and one of your heroes is too scared to go in.
Yeah.
So I expect them to just chill for the Aegis now, try and do whatever pickoffs they can get. They have really good vision around the map, seeing what the lanes get pushed out with both boards, which heroes are showing.
Yeah, it's also interesting because it feels like Signature.Trust, they're actually only 7.5k ahead in gold, and then under 5,000 experience ahead. It just feels like they're so much further ahead. As you pointed out, they have ward vision. Their pushes seem unstoppable. Soon Drow will be having up her BKB. Yeah, it's on her now. So I don't know what MVP does here to stop the aggression. They have very little that goes through a BKB and Dagger. He does manage to blink away. They stampede for it, but they don't catch him, and they don't catch Febby either. Both of them deep in the trees. So actually a good amount of space creation done there because they're still searching for these heroes. But, you know, they're just going to push out bottom now, maybe.
Was it Ohio that said you're safe in the trees?
Might have been KYXY. It's somebody was stay in the trees.
Yeah, Febby's living by it this game. He's trying to do as many cheeky plays as possible to buy his team the time they need. But it's not enough when you're only a toss.
So
However, the Lena has buyback now, so if they do the siege, she at least has the 2 lives.
March is trying to go on top. Do they have any backup? Yes, here comes Dagger. The amp damage, that's more than enough. Who's coming in though? It is Quap, but March now rocking that Crimson Guard. Actually hadn't thought about this, but it's really nice against the wall combinations, because if you do get a bunch of illusions popped, you can pop that Crimson Guard and you don't take as much damage from all of those units. So it's nice. It's certainly going to help their team out a little bit, but quickly realizing they shouldn't go. And did they just cost weave? No, that was a vision weave. For a second I thought it was like a dewarding weave, and I was really confused by Dazzle. No, it was a bloody dewarding weave and a bit of vision. So.
They have to gem on Dazzle as well now, so
Yeah.
it's going to limit MVP's vision a lot, which is going to force them to play a lot more passively. It's not what they can afford to have happen. So if they can manage to pick this gem off, probably the best play they can do in the next 5 to 6 minutes while they chill for the rush.
Unfortunately, Dazzle, one of the hottest heroes to pick off with that Shallow Grave. Maybe Slithering Crush will be long enough duration with amp damage, but who knows. And we've got QO and MV and Fevy just, okay, they just wanted to really show that wave who was boss. They were acting as if there was someone around, although Dagger taking a lot of damage. Quap has no interrupt, and it looks like she's going for the AC next.
A really smart item choice by for this game, I think. The minus
You're not in
armors-
favor of the Aghanims here?
Well, I feel like when you go Orchid, you kind of have to follow it with BKB in games like this. And like a 30-minute Ags just not feel as effective as what a 30-minute C would be. It's probably going to be a tiny bit later than 30 minutes.
We have a smoke gank coming out. Can they jump onto Slaughter? They can. It looks like he does get off the crush, but he was doing it to farm the creeps, and now that Dagger is down, he has no buyback. He is down for 50. They're going in top lane. Doxia, Queen of Pain, actually going in, hitting the racks. March is going to try to zone her, but he can't do this alone. He needs some sort of backup. A big kill for them on Signature.Trust, and this Rax is just going down. They need to use the glyph. They need to do something. They need, like, the Light Strike Array of Dreams, even though the Smells AoE is so small, and Bristleback may go down here if he's not careful. Lakel's just working on it. Febby, she's turned up into the Yules, but the Light Strike Array is not going to hit because of the BKBs, and now they all need to get out. Maybe a Snowball to save March. I don't know what you do. Febby getting vacuum back. He now is snowballed in. They get the Light Strike Array onto the dogs here, so no more combos, but Febby's still going to go down. Lakel's is stunned up, though. Maybe they can do something here. They protected the racks. The glimpse back on the top. If they can kill this off, this is huge, but do they have any more damage? No, it's no. They do manage to get it. Now they need to chase down these gem carriers. I don't know if QO can do it here, but she wants hunting. No, she isn't able to go hunting, and she got 3k gold there, though. I don't know if that was all from the team fight, but suddenly QO really rich, and Dogseer buys back.
I guess they want to contest the rush.
Oh, they do. They really, but he doesn't have wall if he goes for it, does he? Because he used it in that team fight, so it's gonna be a Roche contest. But I feel like with the ults down, Sonic Wave wasn't used that last team fight apparently though. They will punch up the creep, but I think they realize on MVP they can't take it, especially not with the weave on top of them. They might be able to contest it. They should know wall is down. Vacuum, of course, you can still get put on the high ground and have a bad time. But even if they don't, they've just bought some more time, and Doxier's buyout means that he's not gonna have that blink.
MVP are looking to smoke and take advantage of the fact they should use buyouts.
Lena also rocking 3.5k gold. I figure she's saving some for buyback, but maybe an Aghanims next to try and deal with some of that BKB nonsense.
Also,
and here they go, but Quap, she's gonna see it. She immediately pops her BKB. Static Storm not gonna stop her at all, but she blinks into them and then has to run away. A nice vacuum. Sonic Wave hits on 2. They're gonna be able to kill off the Centaur. No, there's a Shallow Grave. March is just gonna go down. They can see you with their gem. MVP, I don't know if they have it. Febby rolls in. Can QO do enough damage? Dagger, he's taking too much. He doesn't have the Slithering Crush because he gets silenced. Forced off around like a ragdoll, and now QO looks like she's gonna fall as well. 4-0. And that was not the fight MVP needed to stay in this game.
I'm not a fan of pulling your gold when you want to go for a really aggressive fight that's not in your base. Like, if he had a BKB there, he could go in and do... He also sold his wand and picked up his axe if he wanted to go that route, so he could burst down like the Quap or the Drow in BKB, which is both really good options. When you have like 3k gold pulled up, that's a lot of your lead that you just in the last fight are nothing at all. So they didn't really gain in strength, it feels like. And fighting on to Sigtrust's terms, not ideal. Now they're probably going to be able to take their axe this time if their BKBs cool down. As long as they don't dive too much this time and just take the objective.
Yeah, and it looks like they're losing at least a Rax. I don't see a good way for MVP to get back into this, even if we look at it late game. Drow with Drow Aura, I mean, you just... feels like it's really rough to go against. So...
The DD on quad meant they could just rack so quickly. Didn't realize she picked it up. Now they can look to re-engage as well. If they just stay around the area, Micro's actually opting to go farm and finish his AC. So the other 4 heroes have to be slightly careful here. They're being scouted by this ward.
And
But
Lena
MVP
just bought out. She doesn't have buyback anymore. Also, Sentel's building an axe.
I think it's a decent idea because if he can burst down like the Quap, she has no buyback. Burst down Brow and then somehow manage to stun his Aegis respawn when he doesn't have BKB, then it's a way of actually killing them. Buybacks isn't going to be able to do it. I feel like they need to be able to take the fight on their terms as opposed to being able to re-engage after they've already lost a few heroes.
Yep. So it looks like it is going to be the Heaven's Halberd from March. If he can use that after the Drow's BKB, that could be big. At the same time, this Quap is starting to hit like a truck and do a lot in general. Oh gosh, they're going to try it. No. Okay, they're staying way back. Do they have vision of this? Not at all. They're just going to wave cut, I think. These 2 heroes hiding. Oh no, the vacuum! Dagger is TPing out as well. They knew exactly where they were. What have we got up here just to push? So, doing this nice little split push. Putting pressure on bottom and top always easier than if you just put pressure on the same lane, you know? Your team's forced to say if they want to defend there or there.
I'm so sure if Dagger got caught there, he'd be screaming at Febby saying, "What the hell are you doing?" Because he was so close to getting hit by that vacuum.
Yeah, it was a bit rough. Now Queen of Pain sending her illusions in. And let's see what March can do here. He's bought out as well. Everybody on MVP has bought out. This could just be...
Yeah, this could be the last fight for sure.
I mean, it's either they have to win it big here or it's the last fight, and now Lakel's...
in the middle of the fight, he needs to be there to go off the racks.
Yeah, he's finally TP'd in. Lakel's is going to get Walrus punched up, does have BKB and a second life, so QO being silenced up, a bit of a pain there. They're actually keeping her in a really good... Lakel's in a really good spot. Oh, and the Slithering Crush misses, but they have the glimpse back. Maybe they felt like a bit of a miscommunication. They're going to just Laguna Blade her down, but the Yellow Grave... And oh goodness, Lakel's is going to be back up to full health in no time at all. This is... really unfortunate for MVP.
They just needed to burst the Aegis with and force Sig to go back and then try to depush the waves. Because they're not going to feel confident without the Aegis, I feel like. It gives MVP more time. Right now they can deep fairly well with the Tusk and the Lena. It's hard for Sig to just dive in onto them. Once Centaur has his axe, which is only 800 away now, it's a different story. But right now he doesn't have it. This Aegis is like the enabling tool for their siege.
Yeah, and in case...
We supple 5 though, so this is where they look to go.
In case folks don't know, that Aghanims means they can ignore terrain. Lakel's is going in again, but this time it's Sendo with a hoof stomp, Vacuum of Dreams, Sonic Wave as well. They don't have buybacks. QO, he does have the ult and cooldown, but no buyback, and this is GG. I don't think there's a way back in this. They're going to drop a Static Storm, but it is not enough, and I am pretty sure we will see. Oh, actually, going for the... Can we get a Rampage? Can we get a Rampage on MyPro? MyPro, go hit March! And they're going for objective instead.
Go for the Rampage, boys!
No, not going for it instead. March doing his best to kind of distract them, trying to save another set of racks, but it is the call. GG, well played.
Just give them the Rampage, please, merciful Rampage.
Yeah, not so much. So with that, it is a 2-0 for Signature.Trust over MVP. Certainly not what folks were expecting coming into this match. MVP heavily favored, but as we saw, Signature.Trust just more disciplined play, taking advantage of MVP's mistakes, really exploiting them. And they're going to be moving forward to that lower bracket final.
This is the first 2-0 in the Summit 4 for SEA that I've been casting. They've all
everything else has been 3.
Pretty close.
So
This was a convincing win from Sig.